more of those today. What I talked about Friday is if you're going to get a solution, the number of variables you have has to match the number of equations we have, right? So if I have two variables, I'm going to need two equations in order to get a solution. If I have three variables, then I would need three equations in order to get a solution. So if I'm looking at this one, am I going to be able to get a number solution? No, because I have three different variables but only two equations. I didn't give you enough information. So this is one of those situations where there are an infinite number of solutions and we have to describe them. So I might say, do it with x arbitrary or y arbitrary or z arbitrary, or this time I just said in terms of x. I'm telling you the variable you keep. So we know when we list these, we go alphabetical. X, Y, Z. If I say keep it in terms of x, x stays, and I have to rewrite these so that x is the only variable we have. Where would probably be the best place to start with that?
You can multiply the top one you want to, or the bottom, which you want to keep x, right?
We want to keep
So
x.
multiply the bottom.
Okay. Okay, so if we do that, so we have x minus 2y plus 3z equals 7. This would be 4x plus 2y equals 8. If you add those together, we get 5x. The y's cancel. Plus 3z equals 15. How do we use that? Which one do we want? If we want to keep x, then I need to solve for the z. I need to find out what z is equal to, because I said keep it in terms of x, so keep the x as our variable. So we would subtract 5x, and then we can divide by 3. So the z is 15 minus 5x divided by 3. How would I get y? Yeah, you have two options. You could either plug this z in up here and solve for y, or the easier option, could we just solve for y in that one? So if I want y by itself, we would subtract the 2x. So y is 4 minus 2x. And that is our solution. So whatever variable I tell you to keep it in terms of, that's the only one you can have. All the others have to go away. So with that. An investment of $35,000 was made by a business club. The investment was split into 3 parts and lasted for 1 year. The first part of the investment earned 8% interest, the second 6%, and the third 9%. Total interest from the investments was $2,610. The interest from the first investment was 2 times the interest from the second. Find the amounts of the 3 parts of the investment. Okay, there's a lot here. What do I need to do first on the word problem? Just find our variables. So we know we have three different parts. So that's x, y, and z. So x could be the amount at 8%. Y is the amount at 6%. And z is the amount at 9%. All right, what would my first equation be?
X plus Y plus C equals 35,000.
Right, how many equations do we have to get? 3. The next information I gave you was total interest. We know interest is principal, which is our variable, times the rate times the time, and we said it was just 1 year. So how would I show my interest? And that equals, right, the next one. The interest from the first. So I told you here the first was the 8%. How would I show the amount of interest from the first? Point. So first we have to get, if I'm talking about the interest, I don't just want to say x, because x is the principal. So the interest from that amount would be the 0.08x. Was is like is, so that means equal, 2 times the interest from the second. So the second one was my 6%. So how would we show that interest?
So 261.
All right. What do you want to do?
Go ahead and solve the bottom one for the bottom equation for x.
Okay. All right, we can do that. So if I want to get x by itself here, we have 0.08x equals 0.12y. So then we are solving for which one did you say? X. So if we divide by the 0.08, that gives us 3/2 y. And so you're saying sub that into the other two equations? So if we did that, it'd be x, 3/2 y. Alright, so 3/2, that's like 1.5 plus 1, so we would get 2.5y plus z equals 35,000. 0.08 times 3/2 is 0.12. I'm going to go ahead. This is 0.12y plus the 0.06y. So that's 0.15. Now what?
C multiplied by negative 0.10 means 0.
negative 0.09 times 2.5. Is everybody with me so far? So now if we add our x's together. Question. And the y is 12,000. Okay, so we have to work backwards and find all of them. Okay. You get 18,000. So then, if we go back to the beginning, x plus y plus z equals 3,500. So 18,000 plus 12,000 plus z. So z is 5,000.
You kind of lost me. I rewrote the 3. What did you do that?
Okay. After I did, so you're okay with how I got my x?
Yeah, I just didn't get to.
Okay. So 3 halves times 12,000 is 18,000. So now I know x and I know y. So I just went back to the original equation and did x and y to get z. Alright, so we have to answer in a sentence. So the club invested 18,000 at x was the amount at 8%. $12,000 at 6%. And $5,000 at 9%. So same setup and process as we did with 2 variables, it's just longer. Yes.
At the beginning, the totals were 0.08. Could we have just plugged in the software?
Okay. Let's look at this. Any ideas?
Take all of them, multiply them by xy.
Okay, if you are really close to fractions, you could multiply by xy.
Or you can already cancel.
Yeah. If we just add these together, the 1 over y would cancel. So if you're not scared of the fractions, can we go ahead and just add them?
Yeah.
John Paul's going to multiply by xy. We're going to go ahead and just go the fast route.
Was that a command?
What's 2 over x plus 3 over x? Those cancel. 3 over 2 plus 1. Cross multiply. So x is 2.
How much would you be if you didn't write down the cross multiplication? You just said it.
That one, it's obvious.
Okay.
Then plug that back in.
X is not equal to 10, it's equal to 2.
2 over 2 is 1. Subtract that over first. So 1 over y equals 1/2. So y is 2. So this one only had 2 variables, but just a fun one for the day to see how you would handle the fractions.
And
See, it's weird.
Panic.
Usually Zoni doesn't panic, and I usually like even fractions. In that I did that.
Okay, are there any questions?
actually feel like that would have made it a little longer.
So there's a math Excel assignment open Friday. I wanted to give you guys plenty of time to work on that because these are some longer ones. So that's due tomorrow. So go ahead and work